I'm Sidney with Denison Yachting. We're here in Albany Marina, a private community which some might consider to be one of the most exclusive mega yacht harbors in the Bahamas. In case you're wondering why it's dark out, it's simply because of the fact that some boats look good in any light, and this is one of those boats. Which is why we wanted to utilize every minute from sunrise to sunset to take you through one of our firm's newest listings. This 2013 93 Delfino is a highly specified build that exemplifies the sophistication and yachting experience of the owners that built her. She goes by the name of Motor Yacht Princeville. Her well-appointed interior is elegantly blended with classy and modern decor personalized by her tasteful owners, but her interior layout itself was designed by Carlo Galeazzi. She will comfortably sleep a total of 10 guests and 4 crew members. Her layout is understandable and makes for effortless mobility throughout the entire vessel. To have 5 staterooms on a yacht this size, that's pretty impressive. 4 of the 5 are the guest accommodations, which are below deck. Forward on the main deck is her master. We'll start our walkthrough here on the transom. This is an area that is rarely used while underway, but with the touch of a button, the transom door unfolds for guests looking to do a little reading or take a dive off the Teak Beach Club into their anchorage of choice. All of a sudden, this turns into one of the most used spaces on board. This transom garage will store a jet ski to port and up to a 12-foot tender to starboard. At the moment, this area is used to store provisions and fishing equipment. The shore power receptacles are on both sides of the transom to port and starboard. Just a few steps up from the transom is her shaded aft deck area. This full beam aft deck gives a wonderful first impression of how vast the main deck really is. This area will comfortably seat 12 guests looking to join alfresco dining experience or maybe catch their favorite television broadcast on the 32-inch Samsung right above the deep freezer to port. Line handling for crew is made simple with foot controls to power the capstans on both sides of the ship. You also have an aft docking station equipped with an MTU throttle controller and your BCS balanced stern thruster controls. From the aft deck, you have the option of heading up to the Sundeck from the teak staircase to starboard or advance to the bow area from her full walk-around side decks. We'll check out those spaces later, but let's head to the salon first. Moving forward, we enter the salon through this automatic sliding door. Natural light flows seamlessly throughout this area from her large windows. There's enough lounge seating for 10 to 12 guests with sofas on both the starboard and port sides surrounding a smoked glass coffee table. A pop-up TV can arise from behind the sofa on the starboard side. Halfway into the salon, there's recessed shelving between the windows on both sides of the salon displaying decor. This formal dining area will comfortably seat 10 guests. There are pocket doors on both sides that will section off this area for a private meeting or an intimate dinner setting. Beyond the pocket door to port is your well-appointed galley with every melee appliance needed to meet the standards of an executive chef. There's a wing door to enter to or from the port side deck. This acts as a service entrance for the crew. Here in the galley, we have a full-size oven, glass ceramic cooktop, and a microwave convection oven. On the port side, you have your industrial dishwasher and large sink basin. For refrigeration, we have 2 floor-to-ceiling units here. Descending down a flight of stairs, you'll enter the crew area, which can sleep up to 4 members. To starboard is the first of 2 accommodations with a bunk layout. Forward of this is the ensuite with a large shower stall. Across the corridor is your second crew cabin. Picking back up on the salon, on the starboard side through the pocket door is your main foyer. Underfoot in this main foyer, a nice marble slab is inlaid within the deck. Check out this sliding door to starboard. Across from it, you can either descend to the guest accommodations on the lower deck or up to the bridge deck. Just before entering the on-deck master, you have a powder room to port. As you enter the master, to port is a dressing area with a substantial amount of closet space. Across from the closet, you have additional drawers. All the precious materials used throughout the salon consistently flow into the master. For instance, the Carrara marble, rift-cut white oak veneers, white leathers, and an abundance of polished stainless. Centerline is your king-size bed. Notice how the carefully selected colors and fabrics harmonize with the precious materials I mentioned just before. On both sides of the bed are marble-top nightstands. To starboard is a vanity and a seating area to port. Notice how the stunning window design offers unobstructed views. We'll touch on this a little later. Facing aft, you have a 40-inch centerline TV and the entrance to the ensuite. Instead of a tub, the owners opted for a shower stall for two. You have to tip your hat to the owner's sophisticated taste and their selection of materials. From here, let's head below deck and check out the guest accommodations. As you descend below deck, you just have to appreciate how well orchestrated this landing area is. Picture stepping out of your cabin and grabbing a morning coffee and croissant from this backlit service space. Remember that all the guest accommodations I'm going to show you down here are well-equipped en-suites. Moving aft are the two identical accommodations. They both feature queen berths and vanities. On the forward bulkhead of both of these staterooms, you'll see your Samsung 40-inch TVs. On both sides of the TV, you have additional storage. Forward of the landing area are the other two accommodations. The first accommodation to port features a comfortable twin layout. Our final stateroom is on the starboard side and features a full berth with a Pullman. In this accommodation and the one before, you have a 28-inch Samsung TV and a full-size hanging locker. Ascending from the main foyer, you'll enter the wheelhouse up a cozy set of stairs covered in a shaggy synthetic wool. This is one of the cooler materials used throughout the boat. From an operator standpoint, visibility is abundant from the wheelhouse due to her vertically positioned panoramic windshield. Reflective annoyances are reduced significantly with credit to her dark blue leather upholstery throughout the wheelhouse. The gray L-shaped seating area to port blends well with the dark blue leathers and also offers an amazing vantage point for owners and guests. Let's take a look at the navigation equipment. First, on the port side, we have a Sailor 6222 VHF DSC radio, as well as your Furuno data organizer, and additionally, your MTU engine data display for the port engine. Just to the right of this is one of three multifunction displays. Underneath is an Onyx Marine automation touchscreen display for the ship's systems. There's another one on the starboard side. Centerline is another multifunction display used to display the Time Zero navigation software. This display is surrounded by VDO analog engine gauges and a rudder indicator right underneath. Above the wheel, you have the controls for all the ship's essential components. First, we have our MTU Smart Command throttle controller. Above that is your Mitsubishi GOT 1000 stabilizer display. In the center, you have your controls for the multifunction displays. Just to the left are the bow and stern thruster controllers. Right above it is the hydraulic steering pump touchpad. The last piece of equipment here is a telephone used to communicate with the engineer in the engine room. After the wheelhouse, up a set of stairs through the companionway is the entrance to your Sundeck. One of the many things Benetti is known for is how they utilize their outdoor spaces. With 559 square feet of outdoor space, it's obvious this area was designed for maximum comfort and habitability. This 325-gallon jacuzzi is one of my favorite features this space has to offer. When it's not in use, there are teak covers that close off the opening and cushions can be added for sunbathing. I truly love how the stern gunnels have been lowered to eliminate every visual impediment to better enjoy the scenery while lounging underway. The Sundeck is partially covered by a hardtop, offering additional sunlight to her L-shaped seating area and jacuzzi. This seating area forward of the jacuzzi will comfortably seat 6 to 8 guests around a fixed high-gloss teak table. Across the seating area to starboard is a full-service wet bar with stools for 2. Behind the bar are twin Frigomart under-counter refrigerators, 2 ice makers, and a 48-inch Samsung TV right overhead. Just forward of the bar, you'll notice an additional seating area and sun lounge, allowing owners and guests to witness the excitement of cruising firsthand. Adjacent to the sun lounge is the vessel's external helm station. This area is elevated, providing excellent visibility for close-quarter maneuvering. Most of the equipment found here we already covered in the wheelhouse. However, there are a few additional pieces I'd like to point out. Here we have a Sanchen electric searchlight controller and a Navis AP3000 heading control panel. Lastly, we have a Kallenberg whistle control. From here, let's jump down to the main deck and walk up to the bow area. The breathtaking feel and functionality of this space has to be experienced firsthand. Watching it on video just doesn't do it justice. As we move forward on the side decks, you see why so much natural light enters the boat. Stefano Reghini always does a great job designing his exteriors. Remember how I noted the window design in the master stateroom and how unobstructed the view was? Well, the gunnels are lowered here once again, just like on the Sundeck, and that's the secret to this functional effect. And it also gives the yacht's profile a little more character. Continuing forward brings me to one of my favorite areas on board, the foredeck. First, check out this massive sun pad just forward of the wheelhouse. For ground tackle, we have twin galvanized super high holding power anchors. Descending down to the engine room, you'll immediately find Mealy washer and dryer support, and tucked aft are her AC vertical series shore power converters, giving her the capability to plug in dockside anywhere in the world. Moving forward into the underbelly, you'll pass the ship's main distribution panel. The ship's engineer in most cases will start and stop the engines, generators, and switch over power supplies from this area. Princeville is powered by 8-cylinder MTUs that can push this yacht up to 13.5 knots and economically cruise at 10 knots, living up to her 1,500 nautical mile range. This is more than enough for your crew to efficiently make it up to New England for the summers in a single leg, and vice versa back down to Florida. To port and starboard are your twin Kohler 40 kilowatt generators. The ship also has a generator synchronizer for seamless transition between power sources. Centerline between your main engines is another electrical panel with breakers for the ship's most vital systems such as engines, stabilizers, thrusters, and steering pumps. The engineer can record tank levels, engage bilge pumps, and monitor electrical readings from this area. Earlier I mentioned that the 93 Delfino is Benetti's most compact superyacht that shares the same attributes you'll find on the bigger builds. But on a highly specified build like this, we can spend hours in the engine room discussing systems to back that statement. So we ask that you refer to the link in the description or just give me a call anytime to go over the specifics. However, I'll quickly highlight a few of those attributes, like this fuel transfer system beneath the battery switches. It's used to transfer fuel from the storage tank to the date tank when needed. There's also a manual pump here in case the electrical transfer system fails. You can also use this pump to fill jerry cans and top off the fuel water separators, which are all conveniently located in plain sights on both engines and generators. Another cool attribute you'll find on bigger boats are these PTOs, aka power takeoffs, mounted on the gearbox. They basically convert raw engine power through a hydraulic pump to power the ship's bow and stern thrusters. Lastly, another well thought out specification that went into this build, the AC step-down transformer. This allows you to either use 220 or 110 volt outlets for various appliances. You'll notice throughout the boat that every power socket inside is equipped with both styles. On behalf of the entire Denison team, thanks for joining me on today's walkthrough. For more information, you can contact me or my co-broker Will Knopfsinger anytime.